Folks, with Tacitus Today, your pushback channel. Thank you for joining this audio live stream. In this essay, I'd like to talk about the globalist activist sort of machine, how they're desperately combing through history to try and find icons that they can push up. Now, push forward is going, look, you know, this is someone who's not a straight white male, not a Christian, and so on. And these heroes they're just inventing, and if they, as the globalists do, if they can't get exactly the person they want, they just fabricate history around them or a narrative around them. So, and one of those people that's being resurrected as has been landed upon, if you will, to be one of these new poster children who go, see, look at all these high achievers who are not straight white Christian males. You know, look at this. Look at all these strong women and independent black lesbians and da-da-da-da. So, and one of these people is a lady called Rosa Luxembourg. Now, Rosa's probably not, she was born in 1871 and died in 1919, probably murdered in 1919. And I think she's like her late 40s about then. Now, she was a Jewish lesbian school teacher and she was resurrected in the late 1940s by the East German communist Marxist Soviet-controlled government that was casting around for communist heroes and communist martyrs. And they landed on Rosa Luxembourg and thought they would make a big thing out of it. They actually succeeded in socialist communist parties around the world, started naming streets or parks or children's playgrounds, things like that, after Rosa Luxembourg Plaza and Rosa Luxembourg Street and all this sort of stuff. So they the international socialist movement tried to turn her into a bit of a hero in the late 1940s. That sort of fizzled out and she was forgotten about largely. But over the last few years, they've been dusting off the Rosa Luxembourg sort of invented, fabricated narrative, and it's starting to get traction again. So I've mentioned Rosa. I've noticed this before, but I've come across it a few times now in close succession. So I thought I'd cover it again. So Rosa Luxembourg's born in Poland at times, partitioned between Germany and Russia, or the Prussian Empire and the Russian Empire. So it sort of didn't exist as an independent nation at the time. So quite a lot of Jews in Poland, and Rosa's family that were supposedly not devout Jews, but that doesn't seem to stack up. Maybe if they weren't devout Jews, and as much as they didn't go to the synagogue every day or break bread with the rabbi every 5 minutes, but they clearly have been heavily influenced by Jewish history and Jewish perceptions of what would create an equal society and so on. The Jews have been attracted to socialism since the idea began, because it's this concept that everybody is equal, therefore Jews can never be persecuted, and so the Jews have really gravitated towards that in an ideological sense, in as much as they see it as a protective device for them as much as anything. Not that they like socialism, but they see it as if we're all equal, then no one can persecute us, that type of thing. So Rosa Luxembourg was born in 1871 in what today is Poland, but then was the Russian part of, if you like, the division of Poland. And she later on became a German citizen. She in a fake sham marriage to a German guy, which gave her German citizenship. Now, about the time Rosa Luxembourg was born, Germany federated into a nation. So Luxembourg was as an activist from day one. Now we're looking at a woman here who's she's certainly no beauty queen. She's also a midget. I doubt she's even 5 foot tall. Probably 4'10", something like that. 145 centimeters tall. She's also got whether it's an injury as a childhood or congenital, I'm not quite sure, but she's got like a deformed hip, and so she walks with a pronounced limp. So I've got this very shrill voiced, Jewish lesbian midget with a limp, running around, and she can hardly be considered a formidable in appearance. But anyway, let's delve into this. This is the one that they're dusting off as the big. Now, Rosa Luxembourg sort of came out with a few things that you wouldn't call them sort of revolutionary, but they're being touted today as she was a soothsayer and had this brilliant insight into things. That's bullshit. I don't accept any of that. But she claims that in the late 1800s, and this is when she's probably only 17 or something at this point. She's the world has a choice between it's either socialism, everybody equal, or barbarism. She said there's only one or the other. There's no middle course or anything else. That's it. Socialism, a nirvana, a paradise where everyone's equal, or barbarism. And anything that's not socialism is barbarism. And you see that either or thing today in a lot of those leftist Marxist type activists. So they have that same thing. Well, if you don't do what you want, you're Hitler. And this is before Hitler, of course, but Rosa Luxembourg had that view, and which also, by the way, if you it was quite similar to Karl Marx and even the people around, like the thinkers around Marx at the time, that what is a new society, and they're moving away from sort of the last vestiges of aristocratic feudalism and saying, well, the next step should be socialism rather than merit-based capitalism. So this is the now. She went on to talk about, say, this is in Socialist Economics, which again was new. Lenin and various other people were having these or similar conversations. She had the unoriginal view that the producers of consumer goods in an industrial society will constantly be seeking to develop new products and to sell those products to as many people as they can. And whether those customers are just around the corner or in another country or indeed another continent. Luxembourg saw that desire for manufacturers of consumer goods to sell their products to as many people as wanted to buy it. She saw that as imperial or imperialist capitalism, and she saw this as one of the biggest threats to the world and to the working people, and a threat to the possibility of socialism. Now, she was an activist from an early age. I'm not sure about this activism. I think they're dressing up the activism of she was a brave, stunning, fearless woman fighting back against the man. I think they're trying to sort of push that angle here. So they want to make out that at 1 year old, she was running around karate chopping those evil capitalists or something, which is quite absurd. Now, she fled Poland and did a quick sham marriage with a German guy to become a German citizen. Now, she also went from Poland to Switzerland. She spoke some German, but she somehow was able to go to Switzerland, just Poland to Switzerland, bang, and was able to instantly gain admission to one of the was a premier university in Switzerland that had a very, very sort of tight and restricted entrance. Not anybody was getting in there, but somehow she's able to just arrive from Poland and be accepted straight into this university, doing a PhD course, for fuck's sake. Where did she get the money from to do that? Where did the money come from for just to do that? Go straight there with poor quality. And she's got to do the thing in German. Now, she doesn't sound like a moron. She sounds like a reasonable student, but not a AAA grade student or anything like that. But again, why would the Swiss accept somebody from another country with poor German and no sort of academic background to point to, and put her into one of the world's premier universities? That doesn't make any sense to me. And again, maybe she stumped up some serious money to do it, but her family were supposedly of very modest circumstances. I don't know whether that's true or not, because some things sort of suggest that they did have some money, or at least access to money. So she then is, I think, the first woman, or one of the first women in history to be accepted into that university, first woman ever to be accepted into that course, and the first woman ever to get a PhD in this thing. I mean, wow, this is very much like how they create poster children today. Look at this educated person, not like those riffraff that vote for Trump, by the way. Educated person, a triple, quadruple, quintuple PhDs, a published author, a genius in every sense. This is how they create the poster children today. Someone with an IQ of minus 5 million, they pick to, of course, get this treatment. But somehow Rosa Luxembourg gets to this. I don't know. I don't buy this. Now, even if you look at her, say, high school education, she's still in Russian-controlled Poland. She somehow got into a Russian, selective advanced high school, where Polish people, got a very small, something like 10% or less were Polish, and less than 1% of the people in that were Jewish. Somehow she got into that. Now, maybe because she was just a super brilliant student, but then the Russians would have made effort to prevent someone like that from getting into the school anyway, because they would be become a folk hero for the Poles, so that, they would have gone against that. And so, but somehow she managed to get into this. So again, this is somebody where there's a lot of big money behind her, bribing officials to allow her in, and then bribing them again in all sorts of other ways. But it's stated that her folks aren't rich, but somehow she's moving around and getting around Europe and getting into education institutions that are only accessible if you're paying shitloads of money and bribing officials. So anyway, that's now, we're supposed to believe that when she was only 15 years old, she was some Polish fucking Joan of Arc or some shit, and she was organising. This is a 15-year-old still at high school. She's organising a national workers' strike in Poland, or in the Polish province that the Russians are administering. 15 years old, and she's all these men are just standing back and going, "Yeah, you Jewish schoolgirl, midget Jewish schoolgirl, hobbling around on a bad leg. We'll listen to you. If you say strike, we'll strike, Rosa." That's bullshit, utter and total bullshit. That she's the national organizer of strike. What crap. Anyway, she supposedly passed her final high school exams. Now, she was still an activist, they say, and then when she was 18, she had to flee Poland. She went to Switzerland and then became a German citizen. And she was an activist in Germany. So she started doing the same activism that she had in Poland. She was doing in Germany, again, trying to create workers' strikes, spread socialism. She was apparently was a speaker at various socialist and trade union meetings and things like that. And the trade unions were seen at the time and subsequently, were seen very much as a way of pushing. So you have an organisation that then pushes that socialism, not dissimilar, by the way, to the British Labour Party and how it came out of trade union activism. So that's not unique to what was going on in Germany. Now, in 1905, she gets thrown in the slammer in Germany for activism and stirring up trouble against the state and this sort of thing. And she was going back and forth from Germany to the Polish area of Russia, and again trying to stir up trouble wherever she went. Now, so she's in prison, and again, we see here the prison guards are bribed, and the prison officials are all bribed to allow her to get books, to bring pens and paper in so she can write and to do activist pamphlets and so on, and also to make sure she gets a good diet. And again, that would cost a lot of money. So again, we see this relationship between what Rosa Luxembourg's doing, and that her ways, her path is being cleared or made a whole lot easier by various bribes being paid, whether it be to high school admissions people or university admissions people in different countries. So we're talking a lot of money is following her around. We're supposed to believe that, no, that's not true. The only reason she does this is because she's fucking brilliant. She's a brilliant fucking lesbian. And that's why no, that's bullshit. Don't give me that. So Rosa Luxembourg, if you look at her writings, I can't see anything in there where I can look and go, wow, that this person's got real insight. She's just pushing classic, there's a nirvana, there's a paradise only around the next corner, or around the next corner. If only we can create a socialist state, then we will have this paradise, this view here. Now, it's very much of a view of someone, of an outsider, an outcast, a midget with a bad leg and looking unattractive. See, her only option for sexual gratification was lesbian relationships, one would suspect, particularly amongst fellow radicals. So we're looking very much an outsider, very bitter about life, very bitter about the world around her, bitter about her lot within it, and so on. And so you see that she's not looking to improve society at all. She's looking for revenge for her own situation, which is quite different. Now, she can dress it up and say, well, I'm looking for a socialist paradise, or pretending to be, or purporting to look for that. The reality is quite different. An ugly, lame midget with daddy issues running around saying paradise is, if only the whole of society is re-engineered to suit me, then paradise will be there. No, that's crap. And so I dismiss Rosa Luxembourg, just another activist of the time. The fact that she's Jewish and lesbian is the only reason why she's getting the treatment today that she is getting, and why they're trying to dust her off as a hero, and why they used her as a sort of a communist, an early communist Marxist martyr in the East German communist-controlled, Soviet-controlled government. They used her as a martyr for that. She's fighting for the people and so on. But that's of course utter nonsense. You've been fantastic today. Your Pushback channel. Excuse me, and thank you for listening.